Hi, I'm Paige here at Perry's Steakhouse with Matt Revelette, winemaker for Siduri Wines. And today we're going to learn more about Siduri and their Pinot Noir from Willamette Valley, Oregon. Matt, so wonderful to have you here
Well,
today.
thank you so much for having me, Paige.
I appreciate it. And I think we need to start with a cheers
Oh
because
my
that's the best
gosh,
way to
how
start.
could we not? Start the day with Siduri.
Truly wonderful way to
Yeah,
start.
not too bad.
So, Siduri is actually named after the Babylonian goddess of wine.
Indeed.
How do you feel that inspiration shows in either the identity or the philosophy of the winery?
Yeah, so Siduri was featured in the Epic of Gilgamesh. She made wine and ran an alehouse at the edge of the world. So we're kind of at the edge of the world with Siduri on the West Coast. So we make 24 different Pinot Noirs a year from 10 different American viticultural areas. So it's kind of a choose your own adventure book of Pinot Noir. And gosh, the Siduri ethos is alive and well with us.
Oh, that's wonderful. So you do mention that you work with multiple vineyards across the West Coast. With Willamette Valley specifically, what what are those key differences for climate or soils or elevation that really identify the Pinot Noir for its true character versus compared to California?
Absolutely. So a big part of that equation is latitude. So Willamette Valley lies at a much higher latitude. So later start to the season, but longer summer days. What that leads to in the glass is you get riper flavors at lower sugars, hence lower alcohols. Some of the characteristics to me are fruit profile, cherries, kind of blackberries. There's a lot of bramble thickets in Willamette Valley, so I
Hmm.
think it takes on some of that personality. Uh, also, earthiness. What does that mean? Yes, all the grapes are from the earth, of course, but uh, turned earth, kind of this mulchy. There's a lot of conifer forests in the Willamette Valley too. So I
Hmm.
think that translates to the glass in a beautiful way and frames those delicate fruit flavors really nicely. Also, polished, present but
Hmm.
seamless tannins. So it allows those flavors in the glass to really glide and take off through the finish, which is a really beautiful thing.
Definitely full and robust. Yeah,
Absolutely.
you can see it shine in the glass.
It's a steakhouse friendly Pinot Noir. So that's the style that we might like to make at Siduri. So we like wines with backbone, with firm tannins, with a little bit more acidity that can stand up to a fillet.
Oh, wonderful. So this is a wine that is made out of multiple vineyard sites. How do you approach blending to create that balance, but also have the character of the region? I think we really
Oh,
highlighted
yeah.
this region and it shows beautifully, but how do you approach that?
So there's two really great vineyards I get to work with in Willamette Valley. Grand Moran up in Yamhill, Carlton. These very light, fluffy, talcum powdery marine sedimentary soils. The wines tend to be more earth and dark fruit driven. Down in Eola Amity, Xena Crown Vineyard. Volcanic soils, very, very windy area. There's this elusive blue fruit note in the wines that's really charming. Back up north in the Dundee Hills, there's a vineyard called Jory Hills, which has very, very red, strikingly red clay soils. Big mid palate driven wines, big, juicy, more California driven, I would say. So weaving those parts together forms a pretty homogeneous picture of the Willamette Valley, which is a big area. It's 4.5 million acres. There's a lot of different ways to express it, but those are the kind of the three legs on the stool that work for us.
Oh, how exciting.
It
You just
is.
have a whole lay of the land.
It's super exciting.
So in some vintages, I thought this was really unique and interesting. You use whole clusters in your fermentation process. And now to the common wine consumer, what can you tell us what that really means and what it does to the wine, what it brings?
Absolutely. So all whole cluster means is that we leave the stem on the berries. Normally we destem all the fruit. What the stem inclusion does, aka whole cluster, is that it adds a little bit more spice, a little bit more kind of high tone floral aromatics, and a little bit more tannin on the finish. It's a really fun blend piece in years where the stems get ripe, where if you don't know a fancy word for basically something turning from green to brown on a stem, it's called lignification. So that's something we
Oh,
look
we got
for.
real nerdy here and
Real
I like
nerdy, went
it.
deep. But those are the vintages where we use a little bit more whole cluster again to play up those spice notes in Willamette Valley.
Oh, wonderful. That sounds great.
That's super fun.
This wine is very intentional and you can tell you put a lot of love and passion and detail into the making of this wine.
Absolutely,
So you are known for minimal intervention as a winemaking philosophy. I
Absolutely.
think that's fascinating. Can you tell us a
It's
little bit what that means to you?
Yes. So if given the choice between doing less and doing more, I'd rather do less, especially with Pinot Noir. And here's why. So Pinot Noir, it tends to show all of its fingerprints from a winemaking perspective. It doesn't like being squeezed into a stylistic box it doesn't belong
Hmm.
in. It's about climate, soil, and farming. And the winemaking is really all about, once the fruit is in the winery, nudging it in the right direction and seeing where it wants to go. Pinot Noir, it's kind of like spokes on a wheel. You have one central starting point, and all these personalities start to emerge going in all these different directions, which is what I get to do. But it makes it really fascinating and really fun year after year.
Oh, that's great. So, when tasting this wine, when we went over the region, what's typical in the vineyards, but specifically, what do you strive for as far as aromas, flavors, or structure in the Willamette Valley Oregon Pinot?
Sure. So it's all about sense of place. That is the end all be all. When you make 24 different Pinot Noirs a year, if they glom together in a stylistic pile, that's kind of boring. What was the point of doing all that? So with the Willamette Valley, does it remind me of Willamette? Doesn't have that earthiness? Does it have that forest floor, that kind of savory aspect? Does it have that the stuffing, the richness, the palate weight, the intensity? And also those beautiful fruit undertones of that blackberry, the bramble thicket, the cherry, those kind of weave together that complex portrait again of Willamette Valley Pinot Noir.
Well, I could just enjoy this glass by itself. It's so beautiful. But if I were to enjoy it with food, what flavor or dishes do you think really highlight all those elements you just
Well,
showcased to
I'm
us?
so glad you asked. So, Pinot and pork has been said to be like the perfect pairing, and
I think
I,
I know somewhere you can get a pork
I think you
chop.
do too. So, so the pork chop definitely that is a must try. But also, if you order a glass and you haven't really decided what you want to order for food, you're going to find that this wine has so much versatility. Cheeseburgers, lamb, definitely mushrooms that tend to pop out the fruit tones in
Oh,
the
our
wine.
we tried our mushrooms with it. It just sings. They're gorgeous.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Yeah. Sausage, pasta with red sauce. Most of the menu will work from this, which makes me really excited to have it as by the glass.
Oh, that's wonderful. So you have this great quote. I absolutely love this quote. Serious wine and serious fun are not mutually exclusive. I just think it's so fun. But what does that mean to you? What do you want people to experience when they have a glass of this?
We have a lot of fun making these wines, and if you have as much fun as we did making them, we have done our jobs. Wine does not have to be the snobby, pretentious thing. We're under screw cap. You can go from zero to Pinot in about 3 seconds. So buy the glass, pour yourself a glass, have some fun with your friends, and enjoy Siduri.
I mean, that's the best way to enjoy wine is to actually enjoy it with friends and good times. So thank you so much, Matt, for
Yeah,
joining us
thank you,
today.
Paige.
And if you want to try a glass of this wine, please come and join us at Perry's Steakhouse for Siduri Willamette Valley Pinot Noir.
Thank you.
Cheers.
Cheers.